So settling into your mats, my lovelies, just seated, lying down. Again, just always choosing what your body needs in the moment. How are you feeling? Just search yourself physically, noticing what's tight, tender, painful as well. Searching through emotionally, how are you feeling? Whether you're irritated, frustrated, curious, actually quite content and joyful this morning perhaps. Or sometimes it's a mixture of all those things that sort of rotate. So just exploring where you are without judgment. Just being in the moment. So having a few moments to ground yourself. Connect with the earth. Be aware as you're lying or seated on your mat, those parts of the body that connect you, and this has a lovely grounding effect. Sending down roots, tuning into root chakra, Muladhara. And in these few moments here, you can always scan through your chakras, just bring your awareness to your sacral, and then your solar plexus, your heart and throat, and then the two upper, more spiritual chakras, your third eye and your crown. As you bring your awareness to these areas, notice if a thought comes in or sort of a light bulb of inspiration just comes through. So what do you need today? What would you like to do or be today? If you could just bring this into your imagination. Perhaps it's some time to yourself. Perhaps it is time with others. Maybe you really want to finish that chapter of your book. Could be anything. So if you're lying down, just gently have a lovely stretch. Perhaps take the hands overhead and then draw knees in. And if you're already seated, it's nice just to roll your shoulders, move the head. And then we'll all come together seated for some quiet meditation today, I think. Often the quiet meditation where we're not doing anything is the one where the brain can be very active and jump around, that uncontrolled monkey. But sometimes just following the breath. The one thing that I do like to do is just follow the breath. Let yourself feel grounded in your seat. And just sort of blend in with the energy around you and the universe around you. Come into that lovely deeper state of kind of alpha brainwaves. So let's just rest our hands. We'll just do this for 5 minutes. It's a nice amount of time just to settle. So just following your breath, observing your mind, and every now and then just coming back to the breath. Trying not to let anything happen, just allow the moment. Follow your thoughts and your breath. Just trying to be in that gap between your thoughts. How long can you be in that gap before a thought jumps in? Noticing that point where you are just the breath. Let's just take a few more breaths, enjoying this moment. And we can blink our eyes open. How busy was your mind? How many times did you have to bring it back to that space of no thought? Perhaps just thinking, I'm not thinking a thought. It's difficult. Okay, loves. Joining me in butterfly to start with. And using whatever props you need to. If this rotation doesn't suit you in the hips today, then maybe just an alternative is to just take the legs wide. So just choose what fits better for you. There's less rotation in the actual hip joint if that helps. So giving you a choice with this one. And always keep your props around you. You never know when you just might fancy using something under the knees. Okay. But the beauty of yin is coming into whichever pose and then just leaning into it and understanding the body through it. So softening. Exploring where there is tightness and tension and allowing the body to gently release. And as a lot of the yogic philosophy says, what we do on the mat is learning how we can relate this into life. So as we release into this pose, softening, accepting, where can we reflect the same attitude in our life, softening and accepting what's going on around us, being curious, allowing, but also trusting. Trusting what comes out of situations. Bring in awareness to the breath in the belly, the back. Does your body reflect resistance and tightness in life? How does this pose feel today? As long as there's no pain, it's okay to feel a challenging stretch. An affirmation that I love to come back to quite often in life when things get a bit tough is everything is happening for my highest good. Sometimes saying something like that can just soften everything. The anxiety. Let's take a breath. Just noticing as we come out of this pose how the pose has perhaps softened from the start. And you may often find just in those last moments where we just sort of almost come out of a pose, that's when there's a release. Maybe we could have stayed there longer. So gently, just finding your way back into Shavasana. I could have stayed there a bit longer actually. It was just then that my body started to melt a bit. Have a few moments. Our first pose, just let your back try to understand the feelings of softening and release here. Take your time using the breath to relax through the muscles in your back. Where is there still tightness? Relaxing buttocks, abdomen, sides of the waist. And then gently let's bring right knee in and then left knee. And just take a moment, rock, massage your back. So we're going to come up into swan now, two-sided pose. If this pose doesn't suit you, please choose something else that you know that you can do and will benefit you. Otherwise, let's just join me with bringing the right knee forwards, left leg extends back, cushion under the buttock. And then our lovely swan pose. This is nice to counter the curve in the lower back that we felt with butterfly as well. If you want to use blocks, you can do. Come up a little bit higher. This does create a little bit more of a curvature in the spine. All these things we can use. So just letting yourself ease into this pose, feeling that stretch in the buttock, thigh. And whenever you're ready, come onto elbows. If you want to stay up on your hands a bit longer, then listening to your body, whatever feels right. Use a block for your forehead if you wish, or you can just let the head rest. Notice if you're surprised by the feeling in this pose. Sometimes you'll come into it and it will be really tough and challenging. And other times you'll think, oh, this isn't too bad. Notice where you are today. Relaxing your shoulders. Just sitting with this. If you feel relaxed, just draw your awareness to your tummy and your abdominal muscles. Just checking in to see if there's a little bit of tightness there. And if at any time this starts to aggravate your knees or hips or joints in any way, please always come out. Come out a bit early. So as with our meditation, we can follow the breath and just observe those small gaps between our thoughts. Just rotating your awareness all the way around your body. especially to the bits you know that you always kind of tense up again. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Soften the belly. And then just taking a few more breaths, noticing how that 5 minutes felt, whether it felt like 5 minutes or actually it went quickly. Gently coming up. And coming into neutral spine. Nice to release out of the knee, doing that slowly, just placing it down with care. And then again, just feeling all the energy moving through your body, especially right foot, shin, around the knee, inner thighs. Relax your back. So just following the flow, aware of the difference left and right. And then drawing these in, we'll come into the other side of that pose. How's it going to feel? Will we need it more one side than the other? How will our body benefit? So if you're coming into swan, left knee forward, right leg back. Any other pose you've chosen, just reflecting it the other side. Nice to start in upright. Gives us that opportunity to sort of start to soften in through the legs and the buttocks and thighs. And when you're ready to come down, it intensifies a little bit more. This is also nice for your arms. Meridians through your arms. Lung and large intestine are the organs associated with this time of year. Even in upright swan, awareness on belly and if your tummy is tight. And anytime you're ready, just coming down. Can you relax your face? Let all of the cheek muscles loosen around the jaw. Remembering at any time if you need to come out of this pose, if one side just doesn't suit you, choosing an alternative position. Sometimes even if you haven't had an injury, it might just not feel right for you today. So always listening into the body. Are your arms and hands relaxed? Following your breath. Notice if you like this pose or not. So just a little bit longer in the pose. If you want to just shift or alter your position, you can. And then we'll just take 2 or 3 more breaths. Whatever feels right for you, come out now if you need to. And then finding your way back onto the mat. Grab a block on your way down, just because we're going to come into the bridge pose next. And you can have that handy. So how did swan feel for you? How did whichever pose you chose feel for you? And if you needed to choose something else because of the body, then just observing all the after effects from that one. If you came into swan, just following the sensation now in the left leg, and anywhere else you feel chi moving. Where does it feel a bit more vibrant in your body? So just enjoying a few more breaths here. And then we can bring knees in. Have a moment just to ease the spine. And so now coming into supported bridge. With your block, either on the highest height or the second height down, just choosing where you sort of feel energetically today with this. And then bringing toes towards your buttocks, lifting your body, and just remembering to pop that block on that little flat part of the sacrum and not encroaching onto lumbar vertebrae. Then we can relax the arms out to the side. Just if you need to just shift it a few times just to find that comfortable spot, then that's fine. And relaxing. If you've come up onto the highest level and actually it doesn't feel right, just turn the block, come lower. And then just beginning to relax here. Soften through the inner thighs and your buttocks. Starting to relax the lower back. If your arms need to come a little bit wider so that they relax into the upper arms. The two areas I always would say to come back to are the thighs and around the buttocks, but also the upper back and shoulder area. Notice if you're hunching a little. If the mind wanders, just return to your breath. This lovely feeling of feeling the belly rise and fall. Keep relaxing the shoulders. And just looking for all the tiniest parts of your body that might be tense still. Maybe around your eyes, your cheeks. Awareness on the tilt of your chin and the neck. Is your breath shallow or deep? Where are your thoughts? So let's just take another breath. And then very slowly coming out of this pose, support yourself as you lift up, just to clear the block away. And slowly rolling your spine down with great care, feeling each vertebrae come back to the mat. Where does it feel refreshing? Just rock your pelvis a little or wag your tail just to ease any immediate discomfort. Totally different sensation following that pose from the swan pose, where the after effects flow through the body. Just everything fades, just gradually, everything fades. Reflecting that into life as well. Everything passes, perhaps, is a nicer way of thinking about things if they're troubling us. Drawing these in. And then just rolling up to seated to grab your other block. We're going to come into heart bench. However, if bench, where we lie back over the cushion, just feels a little bit more gentle for you today, then please choose that one. Listen to your body. I'm going to try heart bench, but actually I'm not sure. I'm going to see how it feels. Just take that kind of view as well. You might get into it and think, well, yes, this is what I really need. Or you might need to be a bit softer. I like to give you these choices. If you're coming into heart bench, just resting back over that block behind the heart, aligning along the spine, and then head resting on the other block. If you come into it and you immediately know, your body will know if it doesn't feel right, then come into the softer, just bench pose over the block, cushion. You might come into this pose and think, yes, this is just what I need. It's lovely to have a few choices in your practice because it just allows your body intelligence to make perhaps the decisions rather than our ego. With either one of these poses, it's just a lovely heart opener. A nice opening into thoracic spine. Slightly different position with the neck, but still activating through our throat energy. Just relax anything that just feels tight. And again, observe your thoughts, whether your thoughts shift a little depending on which position and which part of the body we're opening into. This pose does encourage us to shift perhaps to a more heart-centered feeling. How are you today, really? We often have a response to how are you if somebody asks, but how are you really? Perhaps that encourages a little bit of internal truth or honesty within yourself. Maybe we're frightened, nervous. Sometimes we might be numb. have a few moments just to think of perhaps whatever negative feeling you're noticing at the moment. And what is the exact opposite of that? If you were to play a game of opposites in your mind. If you're feeling angry, just bring in love. If you're feeling worried, perhaps just confidence or security. So one more breath. Gently, gently coming up, lifting the head first. Then supporting your body as you lift away. Coming down. As you come down, just bring your cushion closer to you. Our last pose will be waterfall in a minute. Just have a few moments lying back. Feel the after effects of heart bench or bench. So we've felt with swan and butterfly the effects of chi flowing through the legs, perhaps the lower back, around hips. With the bridge pose, there was definitely a kind of a revitalizing of energy in the core and the abdominal and digestive area. So with heart bench, bringing the sensation of chi moving and refreshing sensation up into the upper body. It's lovely to feel how your body shifts and the energy moves through our poses. So gently, let's bring these in. Give yourself a little hug, rock. Rolling in circles, can just sort of feel the outer edges of your back. Nice little rock around the lower back and the pelvis. And then popping a cushion under the buttocks, just to, as we come into waterfall. If you've got a blanket and you want to pop it over your feet, that's always a nice addition. Otherwise, just raising legs. Lovely posture, stimulating our throat as well. We can gaze into our third eye, ajna, but also good to give the legs a rest and the heart a rest. How does this pose feel for you? If the mind starts really wandering off, just return your awareness to breathing into the belly and the movement up into the chest. Being in the moment. If your mind starts wandering, noticing how many times it jumps from one thought to another, just trying to kind of come back and become the witness again. How does your nervous system feel? Is it relaxed? Still a little bit wired? What are you thinking about right now? Is it positive, constructive? Or do we often fall back into our negative dialogue, internal dialogue? So just staying with your thoughts a little bit longer. When you're ready, let's take a breath. Start to lower the feet down, bending your knees. Have a breath, and then we can pull the cushion out. Just take Shavasana for a few moments and just feel into whatever you feel. Can we apply these little moments of Shavasana to our life? You may often hear me say, feel whatever you feel, or tune into what's going on, these repetitive messages. Can we bring that into our day-to-day when something just comes in? Can we remind ourselves to just feel into this? Let the sensations wash through us. Can we understand and notice where we feel good in the body? This is how our yoga can spread into the rest of our day. So when you're ready, let's come into relaxation. Staying where you are if you want to, or drawing knees in, having a rock before you perhaps come down again, or sitting up. Finding a comfortable, warm position for yourself. And it's nice when we have these little moments at the end of our practice to just be in our own mind, in our own head. Are we disciplined enough to let us have our little moments throughout the rest of our day? So I said I was going to hopefully welcome in a lovely angel card that gives us a bit of guidance, should anybody need it for anything in particular. Just being openly curious as to perhaps what will be said today. I feel like that one wants to come out. Okay. So relaxing back, my lovelies. And I will read just a card that's come out. Ariel is the card, and it says, new psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view the world and yourself. Allow your spiritual gifts to open through study, prayer, and meditation. It's not your imagination. You really are psychic, and you have connection with the spirit world. These mystical experiences are occurring due to your interest, your increased spiritual openness, and because you have asked about your angels and your life's purpose. I'm part of a large group of angels assigned to help those who have spiritual gifts. We will send you additional earth helpers in the form of spiritual teachers, books, and classes, so that you may further open your spiritual abilities. Please don't be afraid of your gifts. Although you may have teased or punished yourself for being psychic in your childhood or your past life, we can help you find and heal any fears that you may have about being psychic or spiritually gifted. Just ask for our help and it is given. The earth needs your help right now. We ask you to really send divine light and love within you towards those who most need it. Simply hold the intention of sending beams of loving energy towards any place, plant, animal, person, or situation, and it is done. Thank you for your earth angel assistance. That's a lovely one. We all have psychic abilities. We are all spiritual. We have intuition. We know this. We don't always follow it, but we do have that inner gut feeling, that inner sense. Some people are very developed with it. Other people not interested, ignore it, but we all have it. So just taking a little bit of time now just to relax. So just gently. No need to move. Just bring your awareness back into your body, into the room. Notice what you feel. When we sleep, we don't feel our pain. The conscious mind goes somewhere else. And to the body, the pain necessarily isn't there. So it always fascinates me that when we come into our conscious waking state, where do we then feel certain things in our body? Is it the mind? Is it our consciousness that coincides and creates all our bodily sensations? Because when that's switched off and we're in deep sleep, we don't feel it. Just going to leave you with that thought to ponder whether there is more to our mind that can control healing and our body than perhaps we understand. There's some wonderful books written about this sort of thing. So lovelies, just gently start to move. Take a deep breath and maybe a long sigh. Shift the head from side to side, roll the shoulders. And then when you're ready, just drawing knees in. If you're lying down, have a lovely rock, and then we can come up to seated. Are you looking forward to the rest of your day? And if you're not, how can you change your mind so that there are things you can look forward to, even if it's your afternoon cup of tea and a sit down? Just notice. So bring in hands to heart center. Om Shanti. Namaste.